Hello, good morning and welcome to the channel. In the previous tutorial I explained to you how to create waypoints using coordinates. So for instance we said that if you want to land in a specific place you must know the coordinates of this place. If for example we take off, this is another example, if we take off from Gurion Airport we set LLBG as departure here, and then if for instance the example was something like this. If we want to land to Gaza, we said that the airport is abandoned, it doesn't exist anymore. Let us suppose that we want to land in Gaza, somewhere here in the harbor of Gaza. So how do we do this? We said that we must find the coordinates of this place. For instance, let us suppose that we take the amphibious icon A5 and we want to land at Gaza harbor. There is no airport here, of course. We must know the coordinates. For instance, here I find the coordinates of this place. I take the coordinates, no interval, CTRL-V, paste. CTRL-V means paste, copy again, no interval, and again CTRL-V, exactly. So I create a user-defined waypoint. Here it is. Okay, and I set this waypoint as arrival. Okay, this is a custom waypoint or a user-defined waypoint. Now, we said that I can as well put the waypoints that I want. For instance, let's say, add, okay, add, and I can follow my flight plan, and finally I can land here. Now, since it's about time to leave from the Holy Land, the question is if I can do the opposite. I mean to set a user-defined waypoint with coordinates or a custom waypoint with coordinates as a departure and to land at the airport of my choice. This is a little bit different, and here there are some problems. In this case, here are the coordinates of Gaza harbor, more or less. I take these coordinates, copy, CTRL-V, latitude and longitude, isn't it? Again, copy, no interval, CTRL-V, okay? It is a custom waypoint, but this time it is my departure. I press here and I set as a departure, and now I select an arrival, which in this case will be, again, let's say, just for an example, Gurion Airport, LLBG, isn't it? Okay, you see, the same way, of course, I can add my waypoints. For instance, this one. Let's say I want to land. Okay, let's say 12, runway 12. 12. I remember this one, this tapuz. Okay. Yeah, better runway 12, exactly. You see? Here it is. Now, the question is if this is possible or not. I have set my departure, which is inside the Gaza harbor, and I want to land at Ben Gurion Airport. Okay? Well, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is that this is not possible. We cannot do this. I mean, we cannot start our flight from here. We must start our flight airborne. We can start our flight airborne here, and I will show you how. And then I can press Y, which means I enter Slew mode, isn't it? And I can place my aircraft, in this case the Amphibious icon A5, on the sea. Let me show you. You see here are the coordinates. This is my departure. Okay, ready to fly. Exactly. So, I bring the VFR map. I suppose I will see the pink line. Exactly. We said that we press here. I go to nav mode. And autopilot is engaged. I can as well set an altitude of, let's say, okay, 3000. A rate of descent, something steep, about 1000 feet per minute. And we're just hands-free already. Everything is just fine. You can see here that I follow my flight plan. And of course, if we continue our flight, when we will go to this waypoint, automatically we will change direction and so on. We will line up with the runway and finally we will land. And that's it. And this is the way we create flight plans. Now we have a flight plan activated and we follow our flight plan, isn't it? Actually, we see this pink line. We are lined up and we go to our next waypoint. Now let us restart our flight airborne and let us see if we can follow our flight plan, not airborne, but from our departure point, from the point that we set with coordinates, which is actually Gaza Harbor. It is not important. I can as well start the flight somewhere here close. So let us have a look. Okay. I go slew mode, Y, then I press F1.
Sync rate.
I keep pressing F1. Okay, so now with slew mode, more or less I'm close to my departure, isn't it? The place that I set as departure, which is Gaza Harbor. A little bit more, F1. Okay, so now I will press again Y, isn't it? And I will return to the game. Here it is. Okay, good. So I want to start the flight from here, isn't it? I think it is important not to shut off your engines, otherwise you may lose your flight plan. So, have a look. Okay. I will deviate from my flight plan slightly. I disengage the autopilot. Now I go to heading mode, not to nav mode, to heading mode. Somewhere here. Heading mode is engaged, straight and level flight, and as we see, we started as we wanted our flight from our departure point, our desired departure point, which was Gaza Harbor, but unfortunately we don't follow our flight plan right now. Now the question is, can we go back to our flight plan? Can we go back here to this pink line and go from heading mode to nav mode? Let us have a try. How do we do this? 180 degrees turn. Approximately, somewhere here. Don't forget that here there is no airport. If there was any airport, things would be just fine, but there is nothing. It is just a user-created waypoint or a custom-defined waypoint that we set in order to start our flight somewhere close to Gaza harbor or whatever we want, isn't it? Okay? Slightly, I will change my direction. Okay, good. Here is Gaza City, isn't it? And here on the VFR map we see the coordinates actually of our departure close to Gaza harbor, isn't it? Exactly here. So, let us turn slightly and let us see what happens when we will engage nav mode, which means when we will try to follow our flight plan. This is heading mode at the moment, isn't it? As you see, we are above Gaza. Somewhere here was our departure waypoint that we set with the coordinates. So, the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly, and I go nav mode. Let us have a look. You see? That's it. That's it. This is the way how you can start your flight from the desired point, from the point that you chose on the map. You have two options, either to continue your flight airborne, and the second option you have is to use Slew mode to go on the ground or on the sea, wherever you set your departure, not to shut off the engines or the engine. This is quite important, otherwise you may lose your flight plan. And as you see, soon we will be following our flight plan again. Exactly, here it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is all for now. I hope these things were a little bit interesting. I just wanted to show you the difference between waypoints created with coordinates, user-defined waypoints, or custom waypoints with coordinates. The difference between these waypoints and the waypoints that exist on the menu. Of course, you can set fictional waypoints. I mean, just to press the cursor somewhere on the map and create the waypoint that you want, and to add this waypoint on your flight plan, even if you don't set any coordinates. This is all for now. Thank you for watching this clip. You take care and bye for now.